So I've been thinking about Star Wars since I was a child. I've read and heard every sort of critique or theory regarding the lore and why it's such a popular phenomena. I've yet to find a satisfactory answer that explains why Star Wars is such a huge phenomenon. I think I have an answer to that. I think the reason Star Wars is so popular is because it's a meaningful story that is true.
What?
Obviously, Star Wars is not a true story. What I mean is, Star Wars is about true things. So, what is Star Wars about? Luke Skywalker embarks on a mission of revenge and justice to stop the evil empire. He meets Han Solo, a swarthy scoundrel with a rust bucket ship. They save a witty princess. They destroy the Death Star. They then do this again over the course of the second two films. But that's not what I'm interested in. That is what happens, not what the film is about.
What?
What I mean when I ask, what is Star Wars about? It's more like asking, what does Star Wars mean? Most of you heard about the Joseph Campbell book by now, Hero with a Thousand Faces. I do not want to reiterate what's been said about the interesting ways in which Star Wars adheres to this structure. There is an interesting link in the description below to a great video on that. Obviously, Star Wars is a traditionally structured hero's journey story. A young boy is forced into a quest to stop the tyranny of a death-dealing empire. He makes friends along the way and learns life lessons. But again, this is not the droid that this is not the answer that I'm looking for. Luke had said he was making a new myth. The myths of old were meant to help us understand how to conduct our lives. So what do we learn from Star Wars? What does it mean? I do want to note that I'm not really considering the Disney films. And there's all kinds of reasons why, but basically, they're making completely different types of films. One might say they're only Star Wars in name only. Regardless, they're not trying to make myths. They're trying to make something else. I will be talking about only the Lucas films, and I will in fact even dip into the god-awful prequel trilogy. But let's start here. What is Luke's story? To understand Star Wars, we have to look at Luke, the boy who wants to walk in the sky. Luke is on a desert planet with a dead-end life. He's gazing beyond the horizons to the heavens, wishing he was there. This is the key to what Star Wars is about, proper vision. You can see this with Luke's first encounter with danger.
Well, there are two banthas down there, but I don't see any... Wait a second. They're sand people, all right. I can see one of them now.
He's looking too far in the distance, and a sand person ambushes him. He meets an old wizard. The wizard helps him see without his eyes just a little bit.
Stretch out with your feelings. See?
He loses his wizard. He embarks on his mission with a greater heart of vengeance, but he comes up short. His shadow side, that is Han Solo, inspired by Luke's courage, saves him.
What?
Because he knows how to listen, he gives in and lets his spiritual eye do the seeing so that he can destroy the Death Star. But we still have two more movies. Luke, hot off receiving a medal and becoming a hero, is back looking to the distance. He's peering through space binoculars again at some sort of asteroid or meteor, and wampa. He's humbled. He descends into the swamps, is looking, unable to see that he has found someone. Watch how long it takes him to see in this scene.
Look, I'm sure it's delicious. I just don't understand why we can't see Yoda now.
Patience! For the Jedi, it is time to eat as well. Eat! Eat! Hot! Good food. Good.
How far away is Yoda? Will it take us long to get there?
Not far. Yoda, not far. Patience. Soon you will be with him. Quickly. I look. Why wish you become Jedi?
Mostly because of my father, I guess.
Father? Powerful Jedi was he. Powerful Jedi.
Oh, come on. How could you know my father? You don't even know who I am. No, I don't even know what I'm doing here. We're wasting our time.
I cannot teach him. The boy has no patience.
You will learn patience.
Much anger in him. like his father.
Was I any different when you taught me?
He's not ready.
Yoda.
He even forgets his surroundings and hits his own head while yelling like a child that he is ready. He is told all his life he's looked away, to the future, to the horizon, never his mind on where he was, what he was doing. Luke, with his lucky pride, still is not using his vision properly. In this scene, he heads into the cave of trials with more wisdom than Yoda and must fight for his life and sees that his true enemy is himself. Even still, he does not understand this and heads off to save his friend on the basis of a misunderstood, cloudy, dreamlike vision that the audience isn't even shown. Again, he is acting on bad vision.
R2, fire up the converters.
And he loses his fighting hand because of it. In that most famous moment, rather than embracing power, he gives in to the whispers of the spiritual and plunges deeper into the abyss into which he cannot see. There, he dangles, relying upon his sister's ability to hear and see to save him. Finally, in his return, we have a Luke who is able to see better now. He is yet to be tested, but he is wiser, calmer, and humbler. He offers Jabba a deal rather than striking with power. He falls victim to treachery, but rather than act, he takes a moment to watch. And he sees the dragon's vulnerability because he looks. And with a deft throw, he saves himself. He saves his shadow from a static prison where it has become blinded, where it cannot act, while he has learned the lessons of the shadow properly aimed. Notice he's wearing all black. He has become powerful and strong, yet focused and measured. He has one dark hand and one light hand. But all of this measure comes into question when he finally meets the Emperor face to face. Notice how Luke is guided by confused vision in this scene.
On the indoor moon will not survive. There is no escape, my young apprentice.
He does not know where to find the right path.
The Alliance will die, as will your friends. Good. I can feel your anger. I am defenseless. Take your weapon. Strike me down with all of your hatred, and your journey towards the dark side will be complete.
But finally, he thinks he has seen the right path, and he says,
Your thoughts betray you, Father. I feel the good in you, the conflict.
he takes the risky path, and he ends up on his back begging his father to save him, which means we need to ask the question, what is Vader's story? Unfortunate as they are, the prequel trilogy tells an interesting character story of Anakin Skywalker. A chosen boy is rescued from slavery, trained to defeat evil and death, but his fathers, the Jedis, are absent because they're embroiled in the politics of the day. Obi-Wan is more of a brother. He says so when he leaves Anakin to die. This is the story of a boy with a heavy load and no one to actually help him bear the burden of being chosen. The first person to step forward with a helping hand enslaves him to the pursuit of power. It starts with the temptation of love and hope, and it ends with him murdering children. Anakin is the story of a fatherless child with blind rage. This is why you cannot see Vader's eyes. It also makes the Luke, I am your father scene very interesting, but that is for another video. So back to the Emperor. He is right. Luke has lost. His friends are lost, and this is what he says.
You have paid the price for your lack of vision.
Failure of vision. Luke's vision has failed. Or has it? Luke sees good in his father and spares him the fate of death at the hand of the powerful. Luke would be justified killing his father. After all, his father is a murderer. His father killed his adopted parents. He killed his mentor. He killed many of his friends. Vader deserves death. Yet Luke looks to his maimed shadow hand, clothed in black, and sees where it will lead. He finally sees clearly what is right, and he understands if he follows that path, then the vision in the cave will come true.
Never.
So Luke lies there, tortured by the suffering of life and death. He cannot resist the power and the suffering at the hands of evil. He begs his father for help. He begs his father to throw off the bonds that enslave Vader. He begs his father to do what is right, and it is his love and his suffering that removes the veil from Vader's eyes. Vader, after saving his son, asked to see with his own eyes. The story of Star Wars is one of reclaiming vision to see the right path. And what is the right path? Mercy and love. Evil and all of its power, when looked at rightly, is seen for the hideousness of what it is. The path of love is fragile and often vulnerable to evil. It takes the form of weakness, but it is good. This is the lesson of Luke Skywalker. If Luke did not try to see beyond Vader's mask, he would have found that mask forced over his own eyes. If you want to reach the stars, then you need to look around you. You need to attend to the needs of those around you with mercy and love. And hopefully the friends and family around you and the neighbors will treat you with mercy and love, just as Luke has been treated by many along his path. This is the lesson of Star Wars. This is what we can learn. This is why it has remained fixed in our imaginations. Star Wars explores what it means to see the right way forward, something we all need in our lives. We watch Luke and Leia, Han and Chewie because we see our struggles and our needs. We all have lacking vision. May we see the light in even the darkest of hearts. It might just be our only hope.